Hello everybody and welcome to this new Fire video. This occasion we are going to introduce you our new rulebook, Fire Modern Combat. I am Ricardo Ponz and here with me is Aleix Gordo, co-creator of the game. And what do you have in your hands? What we are going to show to our audience?
Today we have a very special video because we've been trying to record a video that talks about the rulebook that we have been working on of the past 3 years, and it's the it's the star that will be on our Kickstarter campaign, and tonight is something that is very special because we haven't shown these to the English-speaking audience yet. So we're going to show all what we have been working into about the rulebook and its parts and how we've been designing it and why we have been designing it as it is and why it has so many pictures and graphics and blah 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 and so on and so on. So it's a little bit just like a showcase of what the real Fire Modern Combat rulebook will be on the Kickstarter campaign.
So the first question is this book written in Spanish or English? Have you translated your rule?
Great. Just to make a point, like the game was originally created by Ricardo here on your left. He designed the original rules and I helped him to polish everything and to create these into a, let's say, legible book, readable book in a way. And we made something like 160 versions of the original rules, and after that I wanted to create something that would be very easy to read and very easy to comprehend, and that was well organized, and that everyone, that even though that person wouldn't have played into any war game before, would be understandable and then easy to go and play as fast as it's been read, right? So well,
could you tell us?
I didn't answer. Sorry, I didn't answer if it's in English or in Spanish. The original rulebooks, as we are both Spanish, we wrote the rules in Spanish, but we translated all into English for the rest of the globe that doesn't speak Spanish. So the final rulebook will be in 2 languages, not in the same book. We will have one book in Spanish and one book in English for those who don't understand Spanish enough or they prefer to read in English.
So all the backers that will join us in our Kickstarter campaign could choose between the Spanish version of the rulebook or the English version of the rulebook, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That's exactly how it will be. And this one is a mock-up of what the final product will be, but exact same binding and the same cover quality and the same paper quality and everything. So it's the closest that what you will get on the Kickstarter campaign.
So the first things that catch my eyes is that the graphic design has an orange background that goes all along the book.
Yeah. Actually, do you want us to change to a better looking shot? Like, do you want me to change to the other shot already, or do you want to keep talking this?
You can change to the.
Sure. In the video, we have a close-up shot for you to get all the details that we talk about on camera, so you can appreciate what we have better.
Yeah,
so
be better.
I'm gonna change it now. Here is it. This is the book that we were talking about, and you were asking the orange thing, the orange color that is all around, and it seems to be the color that kind of drives the overall branding of Fire, and that's exactly what it is. I wanted to design, because I was not aiming to design only a book, I was designing a whole brand, and as a graphic designer, I started with the logo. We needed something that was going to be kind of easily recognizable, and that it could be somehow nice and strong, and that that it's catchy in a way. And from the logo, I wanted to design a whole, like an overall brand that would cover, like, from books to boxes to blisters to any support that will be somehow relevant on a branding level. And I decided that orange could be a really nice color to, and not that aggressive, that would help us to conduct all the branding through one unique color. But at the end, I have been using like gradations of the color, like from orange we have some more reddish and then some more yellowish. So at the end it's all warm colors that they are kind of depicted around the graphic design, either on the books or on the boxes or on the social media, so that there's a coherence that whenever that it's fire alike or that it's a fire product, that you easily can recognize it's from us and not from someone else.
Has the book soft covers or hard covers?
As you can see on the video, it will be hardcover, and with a very easy and handy size, because Ricardo and I, if we add the total amount of years that we have been playing war games, we probably add both about 70 years, something like that, of playing all sorts of historical and non-historical war games. And many of the decisions according to the design and the rules and everything else has to do precisely from the optic of someone that, from the point of view of someone that have been playing for so many times. So these sizes is slightly smaller than A4. For those who are in the royal system, I have no clue what would be the equivalent size, but let's say it's it was 17.5 per 21. No, it's 24 per 17.5, something like that. But it's, this is a slightly smaller, that you can have it on the table and it doesn't bother you when you're playing, because when you open it, when you open a book like this, it starts getting like very big in a way, and sometimes it occupies too much to be on the table, so you're always like going back and forth on the table. So I was looking for a size that was in a way handy, and at the same time was saving some paper on the printing as well, so that you're,
What are we going to see in the inside of the book? How's the rules organized?
Well, it's been quite a long journey that we had to not only arrange all the rules as they are, but also I wanted to really design something that was really easy to grasp and really easy to get into. And for that, I started like searching for different kind of rule sets that I have been into for many, many years. And I tried to get, I guess one of my favorite ones was the Fire and Fury, the American Civil War game that was made in the US. I think that one, it's one of the, on a design perspective, like that it's that how it compiles everything, how it summarizes and it's so concise that with a 40 pages rulebook you can move like thousands of miniatures and it doesn't break. So the way that rulebook was actually exposing all the rule sets and the graphics and everything was some sort of inspiration that I took to somehow order all the information that was going to be on the rulebook. And then on let's say, on the aspect of the lookalike of the rulebook, like the graphic design and everything else, of course, I would love to be at the level of Games Workshop products, but like I guess that we got a really, really decent level of graphic design that it's of course and obviously implemented to the historical periods that we are that you could be able to play with this. So it's no sci-fi, so certain pictures or aesthetics are actually impossible to be in the book. But on our level, I tried to do the most stunning imagery and graphic design that I could at the level of Games Workshop equivalent, if you wanted to. I don't know if I succeeded, but I'm really happy of the result. And
please open the book and let's see what's inside.
So we have some sort of decoration and on the inner part. And as I said, this is the index where you can find like three big there are only three big sections, if you want, like the introduction, the actual core of the rules, which could be something like 30 pages, more or less, and then the advanced rules for those who already know how to play and they.
You want to add extra spice to your games?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's like the vehicles part, and so at the beginning, there's an introduction, how everything works, so a little bit of brief explanation, and then the mechanics of everything, and then all what you can add, like equipment and vehicles, especially vehicles. And there's a last part that it's not rules per se, but it's just like there are these scenarios and additional features. The additional features section, you can have all the squad lists that you can play. Well, you could play with almost anything, but the ones that we chose to exist in this rulebook that you could further expand or implement or change, and of course we will explain later the regular matrix, if you want, and that's kind of interesting. So yeah, this is more or less how it's structured. It's very easy: introduction, game basics, advanced rules that they're most likely only for vehicles. That complicates things a little bit. Then scenarios and additional features where you can find all sorts of things, from tokens to squad lists to how you make your own squad, so on, right?
How to build your list, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been using pictures of miniatures or real-life pictures?
Yes. As you can see now here, we have been working deeply into creating really the nicest setups we could make with our own scenery miniatures, and taking pictures that were somehow depicting a possible battle in Fire Modern Combat. And also we searched among literally thousands of real life pictures from different websites, from different armies around the world, that could help understand more the historical context of some of the battles that you will be able to reenact to recreate with the game, right? Just to remind those who haven't seen any other videos of us, this is a Modern Combat, as the title says, so you will be able to recreate any battle after Second World War, but most likely and most specifically any battle during the 25th century, up until nowadays, and some real or some invented, as you wish. So we ended up having more than, maybe we have around 200 pictures from real life, let's say, or from historical perspective. And also we have a lot of graphics that was designed specifically, and a special feature about them when we reach one of those, when we showcase the rest of the book, we can go further deeper into it, and you will see some new stuff. And also we made all sorts of pictures that of miniatures and stuff to make it like kind of the most stunning we could.
So the first part of the rulebook is the introduction. So
yeah,
you explain us a bit what we are going to find in this section.
Yeah, on a graphic design level, as you can see on the margins, I chose like 3 different backgrounds for you to easily spot in what section of the book you are. For example, like the introduction is all these kind of like sand or desert-alike wall. The ones that you could find in North Africa or Middle East or further on Asia, and also on the let's say hardcore part of the rules, the biggest section, it's some sort of plates that maybe it reminds me some sort of Humvee alike or tank or kind of like a vehicle plate, but with different bolts and stuff, and every page is different with different bolts and everything else. And then we have 2 more backgrounds. One is cement, and the other one it's a little bit slightly different, like it's in between the sand and the cement, but you could clearly see the differences, so you can clearly understand in which part of the book you are only with the backgrounds, right? So yeah, this is the introduction the introduction section. and where you can find what you need to play. This is one of the first pictures about the miniatures and dice and so on. As you could see different pictures of real soldiers from different contexts. And here we go. This is one of the first.
This is very interesting to show to our audience.
Yeah.
This is the examples of the fire game that correlates through all the book, and it's the same example showing every single aspect of the game. So if you see and in the lower right part of the graph, you will see a QR code that it's linked to a YouTube video where it is explaining all the situation that you have in this graph.
So as you keep advancing on reading throughout the book, there's an example that it's partly defined. Let's say that this is the introductory, let's say, situation to describe these example where Mike and John are having some sort of battle with two different squads and blah 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 and so on. So as you keep reading, we put one of these examples according to the rules that you are learning. So there's a text that explains how the rules that you are learning will be expressed into a real game. And just in case you don't understand enough, you don't understand something about the rules, or you don't understand something about the example of those rules applied, we have, as Ricardo said, we have a QR code that you can take a picture and go to a video where we explain with real miniatures and real blah 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 and so on. The same example, but it is explained. So you have all possible support, and in those videos on the YouTube, if you have a question, you can ask us and we will respond. So so let's say it's I think this is a new thing. I have seen it somewhere else, but not deeply into wargaming. So this is a way of actually covering all the possibilities for the players to learn how to play and some sort in a way to make it life easier. And I think it's a good idea, and it's all throughout the book. You will see. So there's the game.
These yellow boxes like in the previous page.
Yeah.
Can
This one? Oh, sorry. This one. Yeah, sure.
So in this page, you can see that we have a little graph on the left side of the page that is also helping us to understand the rules, and the yellow box is explaining special situations or special rules that you must to pay a little more attention to understand in all the context. So that helps us to emphasize which are the most complicated rules and where to pay more attention.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. For example, this one is very, very kind of nice as an example. This is a line of sight and terrain elements. And for example, these are two suggestions about this specific rule. For example, one says, it would be convenient for you to mark the center of the facing on the base of your support weapons to make the limit of their arc of sight clear. Like, so this is a graphic that depicts how the miniatures can shoot and the arch of sight that they have and so on. This is a specific clarification about it, or a suggestion about that rule. And here on the yellow one, we have a deeper one that it kind of like summarizes the entire text. So all the book actually pushes you to simplicity and to get things like easy and catchy. And if you don't understand, you do what we explained before with the QR codes and the social media. You can ask things there as well. So
nice.
What else? You will find like some of these tables around this kind of like charts. These charts will be later put into the quick reference sheet as some of them, the most important ones, the ones that you use most during a game. And in that game, you will only need like a two-sided printed quick reference sheet, and with that all you can play right away. Actually, you could play with only one, and actually after a couple of games you probably would only need
not need the reference sheet. And this is where we explain the game turn. So we have a lot of examples about how's the turn, the different phases that a game has, and how the system works. So I think it's very well defined and detailed. So we always have in mind that we need to make the game easy for the player. So the way that Alex designed the rule books, it always try to do the game as easy as possible for the player. So here you have the summary of the turn with very beautiful pictures. Yeah.
And so then, starting by this, then we will explain during this entire section what these all means, and because there are some new mechanics that for some people might, because they are kind of like innovative and new, that doesn't mean that they didn't exist before, but like we exploited them. We took some concepts on mechanics, and we developed them in a way that it's very balancing and kind of thrilling for players, because as we explained in other videos, this is not like an I go, you go kind of game. This is like kind of like act react, so each player plays at the same time all the time. And it was very important for us to define the turn sequence correctly and as better as possible, because this is a game system that people is not used to yet, and it works really well, but it takes a little bit of time to understand how this mechanic goes, and especially on the initiative section. So this is the command points, how the command orders are given, and what kind of orders you can give to your troops.
Yeah, you know how to move, how to shoot, move and shoot, and
how to jump if you want, crawl, how to actually rally your troops, how to spot snipers, how to
different orders that you can give to your troops, and it is very well defined and explained in the rule book. And also you can act, but you can also react to the actions of the enemy. And this is another new system that we have implemented in this game, the act react system that we call it. And the new thing about that is that you can react, but the opponent can also react to your reaction. So it creates like a chain of reactions with a very innovative system that resolve these situations. And I think that this is the core of the game, and that's what makes this game so new and so refreshing.
Actually, what you will see different from other games are two pillars of our mechanics, which is the initiative table, and that you could learn how it works in other videos, and also like the what Ricardo said, the act-react system, where you actually, I do something, you do something, then I decide if I do something against what you are doing, and until you run out of common points, right? And at the end, the game, it's not only tactics, but also how your officers on the ground, the ones where you extract the common points. So how do you actually manage those common points, and how do you spend them throughout the turns to be able to achieve what you are willing to achieve according to any of all these different scenarios. Every scenario is different, so in every scenario there's a different objective, so you should do things in a different way according to every different scenario, right? So that's more or less the core of the mechanics, and we put a lot of effort to try to depict that on the rule book, and that was comprehensible, easy, and fast, and you just with very little you could literally go and kick asses.
You have the examples displaying the system as we saw before with the QR code. This is now we can see the initiative table here.
Yeah, this is our design of the initiative table, but it could be any that you would like to design yourself. At the back part of the book, you can cut and you can print and cut or whatever, so you have all these available, so you can use it. But this is the standard or the official initiative table from the game.
Yeah, this is a very important part of the game. This initiative table is what we use instead of I go, you go system, and it works very well. And everybody who plays Fire says that this is a very interesting system to determine who has the initiative.
Yeah.
And who issue the order first and goes to the action.
Mm-hmm.
So you have several videos explaining how it works and how to implement it in your games. So it's worth visit the YouTube videos, our YouTube channel, and see that videos in English. We have translated into English, so there's no problem with the language.
Yes, and for example, this one, the QRs that are on the book, we are not only using them to direct to YouTube videos, but also this one specifically will direct you to the downloadable section of our website when it's online. It's not the one website that we have now. It's not let's say the final one after the campaign. Now it's just like informative, but on a like the finished version of our website will have a download section of things. So this one, it will redirect you directly to the PDF where you can download an initiative table, so you can have it for printing if you don't want to go with the book and print it directly. So yeah, here we go. This is the Mike and John example that. And this specific section or the part of example is the initiative, so you can watch it here. It says initiative, and it applies on the example the initiative rules that we just defined.
So once we have explained the core rules, we go to the advanced rules.
Yeah.
What
do you want me? Do you want me to go a little bit faster, and then yeah. So here are the different how the combat is made. Yeah. The combat is kind of easy. I guess that we have been very realistic on the combat, because in Fire your troops are kind of easy to die in a way. Sort of speak, if you shoot someone at a distance on the scale that the battles will be deployed or that will be done, if you shoot someone with an assault rifle at that distance, you know, there are a lot of chances that you kill the person or the soldier or whoever, and so Fire depicts that pretty easily. So we have two ways on affecting other troops by shooting them, just like briefly. It is like stress and casualty. So the combat system or the shooting system is kind of easy. There are a few factors that modify the shooting factors of stress and casualty of the weapons, and you just need to roll below that number. And that's because Ricardo was always rolling like really low numbers, and now that he designed his own game, he decided that all the good rolling numbers would be the lowest ones. But now that he created this, now he starts rolling like really high numbers. So
one interesting thing about the method of resolving the combat is that we only use one roll dice. We don't roll twice or three times to resolve the combat, so with only one rolling we have all the results, casualties, stress, and that's helps to play really fast games, because in 45 minutes, 60 minutes you can play a whole game of Fire, and that also helps to get involved into the game.
Yep, that's it. Actually, you have in our YouTube channel, if you're watching this, you can find other videos like the demo game and the example game, and soon a complete game as well. So you and also like some these same examples that you will find on the rulebook, they are already online, so you can go through them and you could get some better insights than the ones that we will give you now. Yeah, so more examples and more different stuff, and here we go. No, support weapons.
Yeah, you can find assault rifles, mortars, grenades, RPGs.
Yeah.
Anything that you can find in a battlefield is represented in fire.
Sniper teams, also claymore, booby traps, and we also have Molotov cocktails. What else? There's many things.
Ballistic vest.
Like shotguns, pistols.
Yeah. A lot of stuff in the game. So, but in an easy way to resolve the combats. We don't want to get extra complications. Our idea is to group all the guns or all the weapons that are quite similar. Like all the assault rifles are a group in the same category. We do not differentiate if it's an AK-47 or M4A1. For us, any assault rifle is an assault rifle and performs the same in the game. Also for the rest of the weapons that you can find in fire.
Yeah, because I think that we didn't want to get into a game where you would get like really picky on some stuff that for us at the scale that the game is played, it was just like making it slower and more difficult, and was not actually providing more value or more thrill, if you want, on the game. So what we did is like we tried to find out, and that took us like literally years to find out the mechanics that tend to make it homogeneous, and as Ricardo said, that the outcome of the combats are very easy with a single roll and with just like a few modifiers, and according to the result of the combat, you add some more modifiers into those lists that like 1 or 2 depends on if you get some stress or blah 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 and so on. And that makes it like really easy and very effective way of doing the combats. And well, if you're shooting someone at a 30, 50, 60, less than 100 meters distance, it really doesn't make a difference from an AK-47 to an M16. I'm sure that some of the experts would deny that, and it would be, and of course, but that's not the type of game that we wanted to design, and we didn't want that game for our players to enjoy. I think that we were more into the make it like simple and make it fast, that everybody understands, and that it's very clear and very easy.
In our philosophy when we were designing the game, the cover and the concealment of the target is more important than the firepower of the machine gun or the assault rifle. So it is more important to be concealed or be behind a good cover. That will help you to survive in the battlefield, not the weapon that you are holding.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that in that sense, I'm really happy with the result as well.
We have advanced rules, and we have some items to spice up our weapons, like tactical sights. Or
anti-ballistic vest, or Molotov cocktail, claymore, booby traps, and also dogs. You can have dogs as well for different purposes, and it has its own. Dogs have their own rules how to operate on the battlefield, and for those units that have one. Yeah.
We decided to put vehicles, but we stopped at the level of an APC because we thought that a tank in this situation is out of scale. We think the Fire is a game about squad size teams, about 10, 12 people per side. So we think that including a tank in a squad section is out of scope, and we thought that having an APC could be the most the biggest vehicle that you can have in this kind of situations. So we have included Humvees, pickup with machine guns, bikes, motorbikes, and APCs.
AFVs as well, IFVs, and yeah.
And
Yeah, as Ricardo was saying, like putting an Abrams in a squad level fight, it is as putting like a Titan in a games, in a Warhammer 40k battle. It doesn't make any sense. Like if it's just like, I don't see the point of, that thing in one move. It will cross the entire battlefield unmatched and probably unharmed, and it will make the battle kind of boring from both sides.
So we are playing in 120 centimeters per 120. That's 4 feet by 4 feet, and that's scaled to a real situation. A tank in that size of the battlefield could be so much. So we stop at the armored personnel carriers, and we thought that is a good decision. And now we have the scenarios. We have written 7 different scenarios that you can play. Every scenario has a different goals, and you can. We have written all the scenarios. They are based in real situation, real battles. Each of the 7 reflects a real situation, a real battle. And you can gain victory points by occupying some buildings or getting some information or doing your escorting a VIP. So this is everything is defined in that section. And another thing is that they are very replayable, because we have also include some variations in every scenario. So every battle could be different from the previous one. So it makes the games very replayable.
So how these scenarios are depicted on the rulebook, we have like an introductory paragraph that kind of like contextualizes the inspiration where the scenario was taken from, and in this case was in the Battle of Najaf in Iraq in 2004, and then out of what happened, we just made some kind of kind of look-alike, or that it inspired of a scenario where you can play, and then you have like the terrain, how it is, the things are deployed, and the objective, how you win the scenario, and then the variations that Ricardo was talking about. And then on the other page, we have a small map that it's just like as well like a suggestion, and it doesn't need to be like the map. It's just like kind of like a graphic design or illustration that shows us how to deploy our troops within the frame of the battlefield, that 120 per 120 table, and it explains where everything goes and how this is translated into the table to start the game. And these 7 scenarios, I think that they can be interconnected as well if you want. If you want a narrative, you want to create your own narrative campaign, or there are many ways to play the scenarios. It's not only that you can play one shot, you can play 2, you can play 3, you can play variations of them, you can play a whole new, you can add stuff if you want. And well,
or you can design your own scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Yeah. So these are the 7 ones. You will find that there are quite a lot of like United States pictures. It's not any preference whatsoever, but it's true that the U.S. Army has the biggest pool of pictures that you can use, and also historical ones. And it's true that that's also true that the US have been into more conflicts than compared to other countries. So we have put quite some of them, and that's why if someone is asking, it's why.
They have a large collection of pictures that are copy left. They don't have copyrights, so we can use it without any problem in this rulebook. And that's the main reason that we are using more US Army or US Ministry of Defense pictures.
We get them a lot of British and a lot of French, and some Spanish one as well.
Yeah, the British government also has quite a huge collection of free pictures, and some of the pictures also depicts United Kingdom soldiers. And we try to we use all the pictures that are without copyrights.
Mm-hmm. Or that they are free to use, that the copyright is like for that, like from whoever has taken them, and then And I try to compensate the amount by doing like pictures of other factions. Just that it's not only those that we were talking about, but So this is one of the latest part of the rulebook, and this is the additional features where you can get like a diagram on how the squad list will be explained, or you will find, and this is very easy. So it's
the part where you can find all the squad lists that you can play in the game. We have divided into regular and irregular fighters. So the regular ones are the official armies of the United States, UK, Spain, and France. And what we have is the real organization of those squads. Here's the US Army squad list, and we try to replicate exactly the composition with the weapons and the fire team compositions that this squad has in real life.
Yeah, in that sense, we wanted to be very realistic. So actually, all the squad lists are closed. So this is the structure of a U.S. Army squad has in reality and in the game. And you have some extra things that you can buy to equip them, like different kind of grenades or rocket launcher. But that these will be within the boundaries of what is possible in reality. So. The regular squad lists are, let's say, played in a, let's say, kind of closed packs if you want, and that you can complement with different weaponry and different equipment, and then the regular, it's the regular troops. That means those who are not into a nation state regular army. That we made it completely different way, so it's more open, and we will see when we get there. So we design all these structures, like the chain of command. It starts with a sergeant, and then it goes to corporal, and then the corporal commands these different squads. Each squad each fire team has a different name, and which is a real name, how the real squads are defined. And these goes through the different kind of squads that you can choose from. And this is the kind of the support weapons that these armies specifically can have, and these are the vehicles that you can play in the game. These Humvees and Strikers and Bradleys and Cougars and so on. This is the UK, this is the British Army, and the Royal Marines, so this is Special Forces. This is France, the French Legion, and this is the Spanish Army as well. And this is the latest part of the rulebook, where you can find the regular troops matrix. Yeah, we had a hard time on trying to balance like the regular troops and the irregular troops, and And I think that we finally made it, and we found the correct way of
balancing the game, yeah.
the amount of soldiers you can have in your squad, the kind of equipment that you can have, the quality of the troops, and so on. And it's all balanced by the cost of everything. And we divided the matrix of the irregular troops in 5 different levels. So from the worst, so to speak, to the best quality of troops. So the more quality of the troops, the more expensive they are, and the better quality equipment, the more expensive it is, right? So the worse quality you have, the more miniatures you have, and worse equipped, and the opposite and that you can define yourself, because it's also very difficult and very hard to find the real composition of some irregular troops. So in Spite, we will suggest some in the future that will be, let's say, what we consider the official ones for the game, and then you can do whatever you want. You can follow them, you cannot, and you can create your own, and you want to invent factions as well, and it's very, you're welcome to do whatever you want.
So as a summary, if you choose to play with a regular army, you are going to play with the official composition of the squad. But if you choose to play with irregular troops, you can choose the composition of your squad man by man.
Mm-hmm. Yep, this is the support weapons that irregular, and these are the vehicles. Normally the irregular troops have worse vehicles, let's say not that
and depending on the quality of your irregular troops, you are not able to get access to some vehicles, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Yeah, it would be strange that some people were, some armed civilians that
had not access to an APC or an IFP.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. This is some summary with our miniatures and some social media and how to get our newsletter and so on. And these are the quick reference sheet and the weapon table where you can get all the information. And this is the squad list blank form, so you can fill it to design your own squad or to have something kind of easy. And these are all the tokens from the game that you will see in different videos and in all throughout how we explain the rules and so on. And this is the inner part and the back cover, and that will be it, I think. Yeah.
Very good.
What else? Did you want to add something else? This is more or less it. It has 144 pages, full color, really good paper, hardcover, nice quality of matte varnish, and if the campaign goes well, we get enough funds, I will try to make the UVI selection, which is making some details in shiny varnish, so it gets better quality looking more than it is now. So, but that it will be optional afterwards. We will think about it.
So it is going to be available in PDF or only in physical?
Yeah. Well, that's something that many people have been asking us on social media, and because there's a huge trend on PDF and digital stuff nowadays. And well, we spent this rulebook has started maybe 10 years ago. We don't really count that harsh because it started so just for fun. But let's say that we have been working for this intensely for 3 years, and we want somehow that people enjoy the object of it, and I think that that's the best way to kind of to help fund the project in a way. And later on, when this Kickstarter campaign and the game, if we are lucky, it will be better consolidated, we will think to sell it in PDF. But for now and for this Kickstarter campaign, you will be able to find the game or the book only in physical format, the printed format, as you can see here.
Okay, thank you.
So, what else? Maybe we can change the view, and just to say goodbye, or just if.
Well, thank you very much for your attention in this video, and I think that it has been a pleasure to be here with Alex presenting the rule books, and we expect you in the next Fire videos showing more material and stuff that is going to be presented in the Kickstarter campaign. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to add that for a strange reason, we're having a lot of buzz on our YouTube channel, and there's all of a sudden there's a lot of people watching our videos in most likely in Spanish, and we already have a lot of stuff in English, but we'll still are doubting and translating some of the videos in Spanish, and we will record many more videos in English in the future, so you can keep up all the good information about the game and the Kickstarter, and everything will be clearly explained here and in other videos, and I hope that you will be around to watch them.
Yeah, you can follow us in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can
Not
get
TikTok yet. So I hope.
but maybe
in the future we will get into TikTok, but that's not. Yeah.
So in the social media you can get the latest information about Fire.
Yeah. So I think from my side I'm done. I'm okay. So have a good day and see you soon.